You can be completely right in an options trade and still lose money. Think about that for a second. Most traders hear that and immediately think that doesn't make any sense. If I buy something and it goes up, I should make money. And if I buy something and it goes down, I should lose money. It's pretty simple. That's how stocks work. But options don't work that way. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why option prices move the way they do, why your P&L sometimes doesn't react the way you expect, and how the Greeks are really the forces driving everything behind the scenes. And we're going to keep this simple. We're going to use one stock, one option, one trade the entire video. Instead of buying stock, we're going to buy a call option. And we're going to use the same Apple call throughout the entire lesson. Because once you understand how the Greeks affect this one trade, you'll understand the foundation behind every option strategy you'll ever trade. Let's start with a simple question. Why do people buy options in the first place? Most people buy options because they want exposure to a move in a stock without actually buying the stock itself. They have a directional opinion, they think the stock is going to go higher, and that's where the first Greek comes into play, delta. Delta is your directional exposure. If someone asked me to explain delta in one sentence, I would say delta tells you how much exposure you have to the movement of a stock. That's it. It's the directional exposure. Now let's jump into Option.Explorer and look at our Apple call. If you're looking at the screen, you can see that we bought this call and we went 30 days out and our delta is around 35. What this is telling us is that we have directional exposure to Apple. We don't own the stock. If we wanted exposure equivalent to owning 100 shares of stock, we would roughly buy, or we would exactly buy, 100 deltas. So right now we're participating in the move, but we're not participating in it like a stock owner. Now let's go a few days forward and see what happens. Here, Apple moves down. As you can see, our deltas have moved from 34 to 31. Now the next day we move up. We went from 31 to 46. So when you're right, your exposure increases to the stock and it acts more like the stock itself. If Apple starts moving lower, your delta begins to shrink. As your delta shrinks, your option reacts less and less like the movement of the stock. This is really important to understand. You don't own the stock, you own the exposure to the stock, and that exposure changes. This is why traders who are delta neutral try to keep their deltas very low in the position. They don't want the directional exposure. They're trying to remove it. But when we're buying a call option, we absolutely want that directional exposure, and that's what we're getting here. We're bullish. We want Apple to move higher. And ideally, we want our deltas to increase with it. Watch what happens as we keep going higher and higher. Our deltas increase with it. We're going to start acting more and more like the stock when that happens. Now let's talk about Theta. Theta is probably the Greek that frustrates traders more than any other one. Theta is the rent you pay every single day for owning the option. There's no free lunch in trading, and there's definitely no free lunch in options. When you buy an option, you're paying for time. Every day that passes, some of that time value disappears. That's Theta. And that is where options become very different from stock. If you buy a stock and the stock sits still, not much changes. If you buy an option and the stock sits still, you're still losing something, time. Let's jump back into our Apple call. Now, if Apple just sits still for one day, when we're entering, again, we're 30 days to expiration, we lose $14.47 per day. We're negative Theta in this trade. And as we move forward, time value is going to increase as we get closer to expiration. And why is that? It's because time's passing. And if we look down at Theta, Theta is telling us approximately how much of that value is coming out of the option each day. This is the cost of owning the option. It's the rent we pay for having the opportunity to be part of the move. Now, here's the part that traders do not realize. Theta is not linear. As you get closer to expiration, theta increases. As you can see on the graph, we started out really nice and easy, and then it really starts to kick in as we get closer to expiration. That's why traders often feel like options decay faster near expiration. It's because they do. Now, if we flip this trade around and became an option seller instead of an option buyer, we'd be collecting that rent every day instead of paying for it. But for this example, we're focused on the buyer. And as to the buyer, our goal is simple. We want Apple to move faster than theta works against us. And as you can see here, it's kind of definitely working in our favor right now until right about here. But theta is still kicking in every single day. And that's the rent that we're paying each and every day that we're holding that option. Now let's move on to Vega. This is where many traders have their first real light bulb moment because most people think they're trading price. But when you buy options, you're trading volatility too. Vega measures how much an option gains or loses value when implied volatility changes. And if you're buying a call option, you're long Vega. That means rising volatility helps you, falling volatility hurts you. Let's take a look at this. As we're looking here at our Apple call, we can see our Vega number down at the bottom here, our last Greek here, 27.72, or every 1% that implied volatility rises in this option, we're going to gain $27.72 on this option. For every point that it decreases, we're going to lose $27.72. This is one of the biggest surprises for new options traders. They buy the call, the stock goes up, they're right, and the option doesn't gain much in value. And why? It's because volatility just came out of that option. So in option net here, we have a function here that says vol adjust. So let's just see what happens if we increase our volatility by 3 points. The price of our option went up in value. It went up the amount of the Vega in the trade for every 1 point. Now let's watch our P&L as we decrease the option. 3 points. Your volatility changed, and the volatility is a major component of options pricing. Everybody thinks they're trading price. When you're trading options, you're trading volatility too. And once you understand that, your confusing P&L will start to make a lot of sense. Now let's talk about gamma. Gamma is usually the most misunderstood Greek. And honestly, that's because there are two ways to think about it, and they're both correct. The textbook definition of gamma is the rate of change of delta. But most traders understand gamma much better when they think about it as convexity. Convexity is simply how quickly you make money and how quickly you lose money. Now let's take a quick look. All right, we brought back up our Apple call again. Earlier we talked about delta. We talked about how delta changes. Gamma is what causes that change. Watch what happens as Apple moves higher. Let's go forward our 2 days. Notice how the delta changes as we move through the different price levels. For every 1 point move in Apple, our delta is changing by that amount of gamma. That's the actual definition of gamma. But let's think about why this matters. As we get closer and closer to expiration, our gamma is going to increase. And that's why options close to expiration feel much more explosive. This is why traders who trade shorter dated options have much larger swings in their P&L. Gamma's amplifying those changes. The easiest way to think about gamma is your convexity risk. It's how quickly you make money and how quickly you lose money. Higher gamma means bigger swings. Lower gamma means smaller swings. Neither is right, neither is wrong. They're simply different risk profiles. But it's very important to understand the difference because it dramatically changes how your trade behaves. So if you want a lot of convexity, you're going to have a lot of higher gamma. If you want lower convexity with your trade's not moving as much on P&L, you're going to have lower gamma in your trades. Now let's put this all together. Let's assume we buy or Apple call. Apple starts moving higher. We were right. Directionally, we got the trade right. Delta is helping us, but Theta is still working against us. Vega is either helping us or hurting us, depending on what volatility is doing, and the gamma is changing with our delta as the trade evolves. All four Greeks are working simultaneously, and that's why options can feel confusing at first. But you're never trading just one thing. You're trading multiple forces at the same time, and understanding those forces and how they interact is the key to understanding options. If you understand delta, theta, vega, and gamma, you understand what's driving your P&L. And once you understand what's driving your P&L, options stop feeling random. You stop guessing. You stop wondering why your trade isn't behaving the way you expected, and you start understanding exactly what's happening beneath the surface. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Delta is your directional exposure. Theta is the rent you pay for time. Vega is your exposure to volatility, and gamma is the convexity risk and the rate of change of your delta. Once you understand those four concepts, you'll understand the foundations behind every option strategy you'll ever trade. And that's exactly what we're going to build on throughout the rest of the series, because before you learn how to trade options, you need to understand how options actually work.
Now, if you'd like to learn 3 more option strategies that our pro traders use, including the unique options trick that allows you to make money while you wait to buy stocks or ETFs at the price you want, and the options income strategy that allows you to make consistent money whether the market goes up or down or sideways, and how to make money on a stock or index trade even if you're wrong on the direction, then click the link that's appearing right now at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That will open up the free workshop registration page in a new window. So don't worry, you won't lose this video. Or you can register directly for free at optionsclass.com.